Interesting note this week on the car. He is driving this is Tony's word, fan-endorsed number 14 Burger King Chevy, which is carrying the signatures of 48,000 fans on the hood. Tony, tell us a little bit about the car scheme here and looking forward to Daytona.
Pretty cool promotion. Got it there? Anyway, we got 48,000 signatures on the hood this week in the Burger King logo, which is pretty cool. And they got 25,000 people that registered online with their signature within the first 48 hours. So it's a pretty cool promotion. And the hood is actually going on eBay with the 48,000 signatures plus my signature. So it's pretty cool. Obviously, this is a weekend that was big to Burger King last year, and it's big for us this year too. Having them back on board, and hopefully we'll have similar results. But I'm really excited about it, and really excited that we were able to get the race fans involved and have them on the hood and let them ride along with us.
We'll open it up to questions from media again. As courtesy, please state your name and affiliation. We'll start with Ed.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Tony, given that the spoiler brought record lead changes and leaders in the Talladega plate race this time, what might the spoiler bring to this race? How similar, how different would it be from Talladega? And also, does the spoiler and other factors make this race Saturday night a very different race than the one you won a year ago here?
Well, I think the grip level is what makes it different. I mean, when you compare Daytona to Talladega, you're really comparing apples to oranges. Talladega handling's not an issue at all. I mean, everybody's cars drive really well there, and that's the situation we'll be in 6 or 7 months from now here. But as far as tomorrow night's concerned, I mean, this track right now is still very much a handling track. I'm not sure that the spoiler versus the wing are going to make that much of a difference as far as how the racing is, but the laps that you saw guys run yesterday versus what we did at Talladega, you're watching guys that are working on the handling of their car versus just trying to figure out how to make their car suck up. So this race is very, very different. I mean, it's polar opposite from what you get at Talladega, even though the tracks are similar in size and it's a restrictor plate race. It's two races that race total opposite from each other.
Additional questions for Tony? We got Don.
We saw.
State your name and affiliation, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
It's just a courtesy, they say in the media center. So.
It's Don Coble with Morris News Service. We saw a few little dust ups yesterday in practice.
Is that what they call them now? Is dust ups? Come on. Go ahead. I'm with you, though. I'm still with you.
Okay. Is that going to be any indication of just how crazy things could be tomorrow night? I mean, if we can't get through practices without people hooking people and running in the back of people and.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just a product of restrictor plate racing, the fact that you race that close. But yeah, I mean that easily could happen. I think the reason you see so much of it in practice, though, too, is, I mean, you got to remember that's where you learn what you can and can't do in practice sessions. And, everything that happened yesterday was mistakes, but a lot of times the reason you see so much of it in practice is, cars aren't handling the way that they would like, and somebody that may have a good handling car behind them doesn't realize that. And so that kind of gets us in predicaments during practice that hopefully by the race that we'll all have sorted out. But it could be that way, but it could also go 400 straight miles and not have a problem too. It's hard to predict it, but as long as you're running 190 miles an hour, 2 or 3 inches from each other, that's always a possibility that could happen.
Bob Hocker, Scene Daily. They did some repairs to the track overnight. Did you notice anything Did you notice anything during practice yesterday, and do you have any concerns for the race?
I really didn't notice anything yesterday. I found out about an hour ago that they had to do another patch, but I guess the sports cars ran across it this morning and didn't have any problems. So, I guess there's not really a reason to be concerned about it. I mean, it's either going to work out fine or it's going to come apart, one of the two things. But the big patch that they put down seems to be working pretty well. So I can't say that I have a big sense of concern about it. If it comes apart, they'll do what they need to do to fix it. But I was already told that there's already the paving equipment on the backstretch getting ready for after this weekend's over. So the good news is we'll get through this weekend, and it looks like the track staff's directly on top of it right now as far as making sure that they see anything that looks like it might be a problem and addressing it right away. So I think it'll be fine.
Dwight Drum, racestake.com. Tony, as far as you're with the Army team, they got this ASAP Army Center for Advanced Performance of a Mental Strengthening Program that are going to be working with your teams. Could you comment on what all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but say this works over a period of time, you're going to have a lot of people looking at you. You got the Army and your team working together on mental strengthening. I mean, that's a pretty important thing. I just wanted you to comment on it.
Well, look at me. I got a lot of room for improvement in that category, so I'm probably the best test dummy they could have for that. So, but no, it's cool. I mean, it's nice to have a partner like the U.S. Army and be able to utilize some of the technology that they have. And you think about our sport. I mean, it's not just myself, but it's Darian Grubb on the pit box. It's our crew guys. I mean, the pit stops now are so competitive that a tenth of a second here and there, that could be the difference between losing one or two spots or gaining one or two spots in a pit stop. So, to think about having those kind of resources available to you, I mean, it's a pretty cool feeling.